all this time I've been telling you how heavy that thing is, and I'm not sure all of you believe me. Oh, dude. Oh my. Guys, welcome back to the Harlan Project and welcome back to the dock build. We are on the third and what will be the final part of this dock build. We are going to finish it in this video. Where I left you off in part 2 was actually where I'm standing. A little bit differently because I was down in the water. I was putting in this post and still had the framing to do for this last 10-foot section. I'm going to show you that right now. All right, let it down just to here. Perfect there and perfect over here.
Nice.
That post is perfect. Okay, come down just to here. Push it up like you're trying to lift the whole dock, okay? Man, we nailed it. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, I'm sure it didn't nail it. Oh.
All right. Put some wood. Guys, I did not film any of these deck boards getting put down, but it was more of the same. It looked a little bit like this. And the reason why I didn't film any of that stuff, well, it's what's going on behind me. It's raining again. It's been raining the last several days. I've literally been installing these deck boards in the rain because I just want to get this project done. I'm having a blast building it, but we need to move on to other things. I got other things I need to film and I want to share with you guys. Now I left you a little bit of a cliffhanger with those posts wobbling. And what I've learned is if you just let these posts sit in the ground for a little bit, pushing a little bit of dirt back in the hole, the water and gravity just takes over and they really get firm. I still have to put the X brace under there. Again, I've been battling weather. We're gonna do that on this video, but first, the next step will be to mount the hinge to the end of the faceplate on this dock. And to ensure I've got a strong connection, I've got this board that I'm using as a backing plate. This is what would be considered a 3 by 6 inch piece of pine, and it is saltwater rated. It's actually the same boards that I use to hold up my retaining wall that my road is made from. What I do like about the hinge kit is it's very heavy duty, but you get a backing plate and you do have a little bit of forgiveness in your pin system here. So if you are just off a hair either way, it's going to be just fine. I probably should have bought some longer bolts so it had more thread. So for that reason, I just want to use my hand ratchet so I can feel if anything's cross threading. I think we're going to be okay. Hey, we're making progress, and now that the hinges are in place, I can actually deck over this last section of the dock. But before I do, I'm going to add these 2 by 6 boards to these outer joists. I'm going to do one on each side. It's probably overkill and unnecessary, but I have them laying around, so I kind of feel like, why not? This is the 2-foot cantilever that will hold the weight of the gangway on these hinge pins. So this will just add some reinforcement, and I can feel really good about it if we ever get a bunch of people standing on the gangway. Now, what I have going on here are the lag bolts that I already installed. And I'm gonna need to make some clearance in this board so that it can lay flush. And to do that, I'm gonna borrow some of my little lake mud that I have here. I don't wanna use too much. And I'm gonna do a little dab-a-do-ya right on top of that bolt. And don't tell your wife I said this, but if she has lipstick, you can use that to do the same thing. Then I'm gonna get this board exactly where I wanna mount it. And I I'm gonna just push it up against that muddy bolt. And I'm gonna be sure to not smear it and come straight back off. And what I should have, and I do, is a perfect mark of where that bolt head is. So I'm just gonna wallow that out a little bit, and then this board will fit perfectly flush right against that board. Okay, look at that, baby. Perfectly flush. That worked out great. I'm just gonna fasten it with a couple of temporary screws, and then I'll put some galvanized shank nails in here a little later. Well, it's time to get in the water to put those galvanized nails in, and while I'm out there, I might as well go ahead and put in my final hardware for the faceplate and the backing plate, where those hinges are mounted to. And to do that, I'm using these Spax screws. They're much like a GRK screw. They're coated, they're exterior rated. They've got a really, really deep thread here, and so they've got a lot of bite and a lot of pulling power, especially with that smooth shank at the top and a nice big fat head for holding power. I've had good luck with these guys. I'm not sponsored in any way. It's just something I've bought in the past, and so I'm reusing. In fact, I put them on my dock, and they've been out in the weather for well over a year with zero rust. The coating is held up just fine. Yes, this is that fun part, that exciting part of the project. We're putting the last few deck boards on the dock. It's a major milestone, but really, it's just the calm before the storm, because I didn't realize it, but I was gonna have a bear of a time trying to get that gangway hooked up. I've been talking about it this whole dock series, but to be honest with you, I just forgot how heavy it was. I've been saying how heavy it was, but trust me when I say I forgot how heavy it was. But before I do any of that, I need to make a repair to the gangway, and that's what I'm doing with the skid steer. In a minute, you're gonna get a front shot, and you're gonna have to look close, but you'll see the joists are starting to warp outward. That's because I left this thing sitting on the barrels way too long. So here I am just screwing in some extra deck boards I had laying around, but I've redesigned the orientation of those barrels so that that warping effect won't be an issue. I'm using this cable and a snatch block under the water and the skid steer's power to try to pull this heavy dock out, but don't worry, I was ducked down below the skid steer anticipating this cable might break. And here's the look of a defeated man trying to figure out what to do next. When you work solo, you've got to get creative, and that's what you're seeing right here. I'm using whatever I can, whatever puzzle pieces I can put together to inch and scoot this dock forward into the water, hoping that once it's in the water, it'll actually be manageable.
All this time I've been telling you how heavy that thing is, and I'm not sure all of you believe me, but I hope you do now.
If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you've probably heard me refer to myself as stubborn or impatient, and you are seeing that right here. Guys, I fought with this for a while. I've actually got the snatch block back on the dock, trying to just inch this dock up. There was no way I was doing this by myself, so I decided I needed to call reinforcements. Thankfully, they came, and they came in numbers.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sweet.
I do have a permit approved for carp. I've ordered 100 of those. They're going to be delivered here hopefully soon. I will keep you guys posted on the channel, but I'm looking forward to them eating all of this hydrilla. Now, up to this point, we thought we had done the hard part. Oh, how we were wrong. Trying to get these barrels under this dock in the deeper water and what is softer bottom a little further out. No, it did not go well. In fact, I think even my wife felt bad for us because that was the only way I was able to coax her to actually get in this water. Yep, there she is right there. Helping us out. Babe, love you, thank you. You're the best. Don't ask questions I don't know answers to.
He definitely like comes up with plans as he goes.
We're perfect right there. Okay, can you hold it for a second? Yep.
If you fall in, Papa can catch you.
Oh, dude.
Let me pause the video for a second just to give some context. Notice the gangway is pinned to the pontoon. We thought we were in business, but the cradle that we mounted underneath for the new orientation of the barrels, it lowered the bottom of the dock about 6 inches, which means the barrels have to go underwater an additional 6 inches. It was never going to happen. So here you see my brother-in-law and his family came over. We were trying to use their weight on the other side of the dock as leverage to try to lift up the gangway. No matter how much weight we put over there, it wasn't enough. So after all the work of getting the dock pinned, we had to unpin it so we could get the barrels under.
Come on, baby. Okay, all right. All right, let's take a break. Take a break. Put it set in there. 3. Let's go. Okay. All right. Everybody's fingers clear.
Hang on.
All right.
Hang on.
What? I'm
We
good.
need to go a little bit more.
Okay. There you go. You're in. Oh my God. That's it. Dude, look at it. That's beautiful. Look at the pin height. It's so good. Oh, hallelujah.
Brother.
Hallelujah. Oh, now that's redneck beauty right there. Look at that perfect pin height.
Can I walk on it?
Part of that too, right there.
You need this?
On our way to
Hold on,
dinner.
let me get this pin in. All right, we're good. Everybody's free
So let's take
to
one of your
leave
towels.
the barge. Thank you. Guys, I feel like I got in a fight last night. My body is hurting. My back is sore. My hands are hurting. My shoulder probably hurts the worst from trying to hold the dock like this. I mean, I had a frozen pack of peas on it last night. I don't have an ego. I'm not embarrassed to admit it. I didn't get it on video, but when I was under the dock, a board came up and went bam, smacked me right in the forehead. I got a little knot. There was a red line last night. It's mostly gone now, but I got a little knot there still. And I got to chuckle at it. I was watching these videos last night, and I mean, hopefully there's some comedic value for you guys, and you got to laugh out of that too. It's all real. It's all what it took. Whole family involved. Thank you everyone for coming over to help out. So next step, let's get these posts all lopped off nice and even. There was no way I was going to leave them like this. If you guys are like me, this was probably driving you crazy, but I admit I was leaving it towards the end because it's kind of like that icing on the cake. So I'll put you guys on time lapse. Enjoy some music. And if you're one of those people who don't like the music, just forgive me. You have to understand, you can't make these videos perfect for everyone. Some people like music and say great music in the comments. Other people say, hey, thanks for not playing any music when I don't play music. So just know that I'm not trying to do something you don't like. I'm just making these videos hopefully entertaining and that you guys will like them. So forgive me if it's not what you wanted. project like this wouldn't be complete without some lights to set it off at night. These are just some cheap solar powered Amazon LED lights that cast down, and like most things Amazon, the hardware it comes with is pretty cheap and it'll probably rust. And so over the years I've learned a little trick. I keep some automotive paint around. Automotive paint is good quality. This is just flat black. I recommend the flat over gloss because most things that we're trying to match are not a high gloss paint like a car. But when you have cheap hardware like this, just take some black paint and a little dab of Dooya is all you need. And this will not only look better matching the black plastic that's here, but it'll prevent that ugly, nasty rust color from popping through later. All I had left to my X-Brace was actually more of these deck boards. I had a full 8-footer, so I just went ahead and ripped it on my table saw. And to be honest with you, this is actually a little bit better than using a standard 2x4. Not necessarily in dimensions of the wood, because the 2x4 is larger, so it'd be stronger. But this is actually ground contact rated. Any 2x4 at a big box store, it's not ground contact rated. So this is gonna survive under this water a lot longer. And to be honest with you, I just wanna get something on here until I can get some more saltwater rated timber. So for now, this is gonna do. Now, I'm gonna have to nail underwater again. If you watched video 2, you saw me do that. So I've already proven I can, I'm gonna try again. But to hit this perfectly right, I'm gonna actually mark my line underwater. Did you know a pencil works underwater? So I'm just lining my angle up here that I want, and then I'm gonna take my pencil, find the edge of the post, and I'm gonna scribe a line. I wanna put 3 nails in here for the most holding power. And I wanna pre-drill my holes for 2 reasons. Since this board's a little thinner, I don't wanna crack my wood, and because I'm nailing underwater, it would be nice if I have a hole to start with. So that way I don't smash my thumb. There it is, 83.2 feet. Well, what do you think? I think you came out pretty good. I mean, not bad for an amateur, somebody who's never done this before. And it's totally functional, and it married up very, very well with my floating dock that's out there in the gangway. Super excited about that. I got a few more things that I still want to do to this dock, because you know what? A project is really never complete, right? Some of it is just going to have to wait. Like for example, I want to get this all one uniform color, so I'm going to be doing some staining at some point. First, I want to let this wear in and dry out fully, and of course I've got some prep work on my old dock out there, so that will just be another video. Got to do the basic things with any dock, like add some cleats. I want to improve my anchors that I put out there. Those were just temporary. They're really not heavy enough. Of course, we don't deal with tidal flow or storm surge here on a lake, but we can get open winds here that would push that dock around. So I do want to get a good anchor system, probably another video at some point in the future. I've got electrical over here outside of the screen that I'm going to run over here, because I'm sure during Christmas and other times we'll want to put something out there on the dock just to light it up and have some fun. What do you guys think about the LED lights on the dock? I think that those came out pretty well. Now that I saw them, I actually want to extend those further down the gangway. And I think probably one of the last things I need to do, you eagle eyes would have caught this in the video, is I do have some of my boards that are just ever so slightly, maybe even a saw blade's width, a little wider or a little narrower. So in part 2, I talked about having to make a long rip to clean those up. I still need to do that. I didn't want to bore you with that. Guys, do me a favor. If you like this, comment below. Please like this video. I appreciate all the comments and I appreciate the likes. Everybody talks about the algorithm because it's real and it helps. And this was a lot of work, obviously for me, but I wanted to share it with you guys, and doing so does make a project like this last, well, take a lot longer. So that's my pleading for your thumbs up and a comment, guys. Let me know, do you like it? What would you have done differently? Or would you keep it just the same way? And as always, check out one of these other videos and remember to spend time with your creator. He loves you and he wants to hear from you. We will see you on the next one.